So I am so excited today to be speaking to Cherise, who is the owner of Krotoa, a coffee shop in Mossel Bay. And thank you so much for joining me today, Cherise, and for our youth entrepreneur segment. And I just want to ask you, Krotoa, what an interesting name.
Yes.
And how did that come about?
So, Rucien, thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for what you're doing for the youth in South Africa. That was my biggest thing, and especially in Mossel Bay, it's a very conservative town. And when I wanted to start something, I just thought, yes, there's so little like youth or young people starting new things and making like urbanizing the beautiful heritage that Mossel Bay is in. So Krotoa, I moved to Mossel Bay from Joburg about 2 years ago, and then I worked in my family's guest house, and I had to like refer these guests, tourists or international tourists, to coffee shops in Mossel Bay, and there was no coffee shop that I could like feel like is wow, go to this place. This place is amazing. So all over South Africa, in Joburg and in Cape Town, primarily we have these great coffee shops with this vibe and the story, and yeah. So I wanted to make a coffee shop that means something, that has a story, that has a character. And as I started doing research about South African women, I came upon the story, because in history, when I was in school, we learned about Jan van Riebeeck, and I googled Jan van Riebeeck, and the story of Krotoa actually came up, and I read the book Pieternella van die Kaap, and I watched the movie Krotoa, and a bunch of things that they don't say is that she, at the age of 16, learned 3 new languages. She married outside of her culture, and she was the first to take a religion, and a bunch of other things. So she's just so inspirational. I just felt like if she could do that in the 16th century with very little resources and a lot of taboos, what can we as young people and young women not do in the 21st?
I love that, and it's so inspiring, really, to see a young individual like yourself also taking the step. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think you were a teacher before, and so tell me a bit about that journey and the transition over from being a teacher to taking this step now as an entrepreneur.
Yes, so I taught for I think 4 years after varsity, a bit in Joburg, and then I came to Mossel Bay, and I taught here for a year before I bought Krotoa. Um, I probably did it for the love of children and books as well, because I don't want just a standard coffee shop. I want a book cafe. So in the next side of Krotoa, we have 2 sections. Is a bookcase with a piano and a couch and more seating space. But I would love to have a book exchange program for anyone. If you are staying on the streets, and if you are staying in a mansion, and regardless who you are, if you want to grab a book out of our bookcase and read it, and you want to say, but I want to take this home. Ooh. Okay, we're back. Sorry, we had a glitch
Yeah,
there. If
yeah.
you want to say that I want to take this book home, and I'll be like, take it. And someone can bring and bless us with books and stuff like that. So that is where the love of, I think, education came to having my own business, is that I want to eventually have a volunteer program where either a young school child that is on school holiday, or an elderly lady that's staying in the old age home can come and volunteer and read for our little preschools in our rural areas. I want to invite them, have someone read for them, and give them a little salmi and a juicy, and be like, if you didn't eat today, eat, because every child needs something and someone to read to them and just teach them, because I just love books, and that's where education came into my idea of Krotoa as well, because she didn't have books and she didn't have schooling, and she did all these amazing things.
And education is such an important part, and it really plays an
Definitely.
important role for the future of our young people. And
Yes.
it's just so interesting. And first of all, I want to say, I know you said you got a piano there, so you know I can actually come in and try out my piano playing skills.
Yes, free for anyone to come and sit, when sit downs are allowed, hopefully soon, to come and sit and just play beautiful melodies, and bless everyone else around, having a cup of coffee, having something to eat. And just, yeah, it's all about sharing your story from every culture with everyone around you. That is what it is. And I've seen it firsthand, how people from the Netherlands sit here with people from Cape Town and people from Mossel Bay, and they're all laughing and sharing stories. And that is what I wanted Krotoa to be, a meeting place for people from all over the world.
I think you jumped the gun a bit there, Cherise, because I was actually going to ask you what really makes you unique,
Okay.
but I think you answered that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so obviously the story of Krotoa, and then if I must say, the story, the whole concept is beautiful. I have a poem on the front of Krotoa. I'm going to send you some pictures that was actually in the movie, a poem about her. And the spot where I'm at, I have a sea view on the one side that looks over the harbor, and then I have a street view with big windows on the other side, which looks obviously, which has that French a fair feeling that you're in Europe, you're sitting in the streets, everyone's walking by. So the coffee, we have really good coffee, and we have a friendly face. We make everyone that comes in. I say, hello, how are you? I'm here. Obviously the owner, but I'm here, and I welcome everyone, and I try to remember their names. And the barista, he's wonderful. He tries to remember their orders. So we just want everyone to feel like someone, because that's what people deserve.
And thank you for that, because I think one of the successes from that for a business is really to have an owner that is present in the business. And I think from previous experiences and individuals that I've spoken to, I think that's so important, and I really commend you for taking on that responsibility. And I know come 2020, you might have had many expectations for yourself, for your business, and COVID-19 comes about and really has other plans for us. So how did you navigate through this time? And I mean, I assume that you also found it challenging during COVID-19, but just share a bit about your journey during this time, and how you really navigated during this process.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I don't know if you know, but we only opened in December. So if you don't count the month that we were closed, we only had 5 months of business altogether since opening. So it was so scary, and I really had to because you don't take just your own stress. You have people working for you. And at 27 years old, I had 3 people who looked in my eyes and said, but I have a family. How are we going to do this? And they were my first priority. To keep them fed and to keep them healthy during that time was my main priority. So what I did after the extension, I created a GoFundMe page specifically for my Krotoa crew. And so all the money went to them, and then after that, the leftover, the little bit that I got for myself, I used for when they opened us again. I just bought some beans, because you obviously needed something to start up again. You can't use old beans, you need fresh beans and everything. But we got through it by the grace of God, technology, by a GoFundMe page, by being, unfortunately, youthful and thinking of new ways to promote yourself and to get it out there. I had people from the US making contributions to the GoFundMe page, people from Switzerland and the Netherlands, because they were here and because it was such a nice experience. They wanted to support us, and it was really by a lot of people who just helped, and not just that, who encouraged, who said, "Hey, keep on. You're gonna make it through this." So and I am now partnering with another young girl in Mossel Bay, also an entrepreneur. We are hoping to partner and to just make Krotoa even bigger and better, and go into the evenings. And that is our plans. I'm maybe jumping the gun again.
And I must say, really well done, Cherise. At the age that you are, I must say there are not many entrepreneurs at that stage who can think out of the box and who can think of creative ways really to navigate during a time that is unfamiliar. And well done for that. And it's good to see also the support that you had during this time. But I think also the support that you had is due to your offering that you've been giving out at Krotoa. You've been doing your best. You've been giving your clients the best service, and I think the support that you got was due to really you putting your best foot forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that, I just want to thank you for that. It is like you said, it's all the people working together. It's what you give people and what you then receive back in a time of need. So we try to not only give our clients the best, but everyone. If someone, we have a guy here in town, he wears a blanket. He's living on street. And he comes in with his little 10 rand and he goes, cappuccino, cappuccino. And so we don't even deny him that. That is what he wants to give, and we give him a little cappuccino and he goes out and he's happy about his cappuccino. So it's about treating everyone, even if they have nothing, letting them in and making them feel welcome. So I think that's I would say my secret recipe.
Awesome. I love that. And I just want to ask you, I mean, there are many facets to a business, and you've got the finance issue, you have the operations issue, you have staff issues, and then you also have the marketing issue. And
Yes.
sometimes, when you're starting out, you don't know everything. And so I just want to give you the opportunity to, if you perhaps maybe have any a marketing question or any marketing questions on your business, and perhaps maybe if there are any challenges that you have, you are welcome to ask me now.
Yes, thank you. So what I really struggled with was the whole thing where everything had to be perfect. Like your pictures has to be like Instagram perfect, and you have to. And I'm not big in like the best phone and the best car and that. So I have like an iPhone 7, and I take standard pictures and I post them, and I would just like to know, like, how do you on Instagram, because my crowd really is picking up on Instagram, the youthful crowd in Mossel Bay, because there's nothing for the youth here. So I'm trying to target them. So do you, I've heard that you have to hashtag in your comments. Is hashtag still a thing? I don't know. What do you do? Do you keep it long? Do you keep it short? How do you, like, I would love to post better.
So, so that's a very interesting question, and thank you so much, Cherise, for that, because I think with social media, it has really changed our opinions and views, because many people do post these perfect images, and then at the end of the day, it affects
Yeah.
us, and we think that is how we need to go about
Yes.
posting our content, which in reality is actually not the reality. And people actually, they gravitate towards something that is more real, something that is more authentic. And I think, number one, if you can perhaps maybe try to do that with your business, and I've seen quite a few posts where you are dancing and you're posting about your staff, and that is real, that is authentic, and that is what people relate to at the end of the day. Really going to help you with the growth of your business. In terms of the hashtags, in total you can use about 30 hashtags in total for every single post. Okay, that's the total amount of hashtags that you can use, and the hashtags are predominantly um, used so that people can find you. So when people are on Instagram and when they are searching a specific hashtag, so let's say they type into Instagram hashtag Mossel Bay, and you used that hashtag Mossel in your post, then you will pop up. But now the interesting side to it is that, I mean, to type out 30 hashtags every day is really going to be a challenging side, and going to use a lot of your time for you. So I would recommend possibly to post between 15 and 20 hashtags just as a basis for your posts, and you can use that. And you underneath your caption.
Caption.
Yes, underneath your caption, you can use the hashtags. So you have your small little bullet points that you have, and then you've got the hashtags at the bottom. And I would say divide your hashtags into a few areas. Divide them into, for example, Mossel Bay. That's one thing that you really want to use the hashtag.
Yeah.
So when people are searching it, your business will pop up. Also, the hashtag in terms of the type of business that you are in. You are in a coffee shop, you are a restaurant, and perhaps maybe the types of services or products that you are offering. That maybe if it's breakfasts, muffins, those types of hashtags. And then also the hashtags in terms of the tourism, the tourists,
Yeah.
trying to attract the tourists. So I think there's
Yeah.
definitely different elements of the hashtags that you can use so that you can be found, and also to not only be found on a local basis within Mossel Bay, but also on a more um, uh, national, international basis when tourists are coming to it.
Thank you. Just one last thing, maybe in regard to that, like how often should you post?
That is a very good question. So on average, what we do with our clients to create consistency, we post at least 3 posts a week for our clients. And the reason for that is, number one is the consistency, so that people can see your business you're posting on a regular basis. And what we do is we actually post once a day. So it will be, maybe we separate it on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, just to create the consistency, so that people, when people are going to your social media pages, they do see that it's active and that there is also something happening. There was a time when we would actually post 3 times a day. So we'd actually post in the morning, in the early afternoon, and then in the evenings again. But now the social media platforms has evolved where people don't want to be cluttered or spam too much with
Yeah, that's
content.
what I'm worried about.
Yes, yeah. So definitely don't do that. Try to space them out, and try to but to keep it active. I think that is the most important part. Try to keep it active, because from my point of view, and from the business point of view, we've seen a lot of businesses and brands out there who have social media pages, but it's not active enough. So I think at least a minimum, try to a minimum of 3 times a week. And also, it comes down to your capacity as a business. I always say, as in terms of your ability. So don't shoot yourself, and don't try and kill yourself by trying now to post every single day. Space it out and work your content into a calendar, giving yourself also enough space and time to breathe.
Does boosting a post work? Does it really?
Boosting a post, it depends on the objective that you want to achieve. So from my perspective, the clients that we've worked with, yes, it does. Because what we've done is, number one, we've just used boosting a post to increase the awareness of that specific topic that we are speaking about, whether
Okay.
it be the service, whether it be the product. And what we would do is we would boost it in the area so that people can just see and become aware of it. The other side to boosting is that what we've also done was to for more engagement in terms of messages. So we're actually wanting people to message the business. So when you are boosting it in that way, then yes, you do get, and what we've seen also from one of our clients, we do get a lot of queries coming in terms of messages. So yes, it does work. I just think that obviously, once again, it also depends on your budget,
Yeah.
and very important, where are you boosting it, and the type of audience that you are wanting to reach when you are selecting the keywords when wanting to market that specific post.
I had a pop up, sorry.
So yeah, does that answer your question about the boost?
Yes, yes, about everything. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, I'm not too good on the marketing and advertising, but I'm getting better, and that really helps a lot. Thank you.
So Cherise, thank you for the question, and I only share the feedback with you based on my experience with our clients.
Yes.
and what we found to work and what we found not to work. With other brands, maybe it's different. Maybe a boosting might not work. But from what we found and how we've done it, it has definitely worked for our clients, and also the hashtags question that you asked. So thank you so much for those questions. If you don't have any more, but I would like to say also, if you do have any other further questions, please, you are welcome to get in contact with me, to reach out to me
Yes.
and to ask
Thank
me.
you. Yes, I appreciate that, and I definitely will, because I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a dreamer. Another man said to me the other day, if you were an entrepreneur, you would be willing to sell your place for for a big amount of money, and I'm not willing, because I'm a dreamer. I dream about things, and I want to create new things, and I want to create um, a lasting brand. So I'd love some business tips and marketing tips from you. So I'll keep you on speed dial.
Not a problem. Thank you so much, Cherise. And I am so thrilled and a bit disappointed that this session has actually ended. Chatting to Cherise Horn from Krotoa. She's really an individual that has a lot of energy. She is so much fun, and I can really pick that up. And I'm sure that every individual that comes through to her coffee shop experiences that. And I am looking forward to continuing in monitoring Cherise and Krotoa to see how her business moves from strength to strength. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rucien, for this opportunity. I appreciate it.